my thing right now about relationships in that regard is either I'm going to be who I am 110%. And if you like it, that's awesome. And if you don't like it, no, there's nothing. It doesn't mean, hey, why should you like me? I can think of many, many reasons why you shouldn't. So there's no me trying to convince you, me feeling like, oh, that's... Because how we are always trying to like put the best face forward and trying to convince people that we are. So my thing is, I'm going to be who I am without all the bullshit surrounding it, because then you're preparing the letdown when people realize that you're not at your best face forward constantly, and suddenly it's like, shit, you gave me the 3-minute preview that was awesome and the rest of the movie is okay, but it's not awesome.
Yeah.
I want none of that. I'm like, I'll put that on the table. Exactly, this is my personality, A to Z. You like it, that's great. You don't, I wish you the best life possible. Maybe we're friends once in a while. That's it. There's no compromises, effort, convincing, none of that shit.
You can't.
It's just, and it's a lie. It's like, now you made it work by presenting yourself as something slightly different from what you really are.
Yes. Man in the iron mask. You've locked yourself into this goddamn mask. They think you're some kind of whatever the stupid thing is that you apprehended that they wanted.
Right.
They think you're this thing, and then they really get into you because they're like, oh my God, I've met my dream man. It's like, no, you met a chameleon.
Yeah.
You met a horny chameleon.
Exactly. Who's selling you a fantasy because he understood that that's what you want.
Yeah.
And it's bullshit for both in the end. Even the one who's offering the fantasy, not only the one buying it, is still doing something that, unless you're a cynical asshole and you're only doing it to get laid, and in the process you're going to hurt somebody else, which means you're a sorry excuse for a human being.
Yes.
But if you are doing it really meaning, oh, I love this person, I want to click with them, it's so cool, well, that's really the wrong way to go about it, because you just sold them something that's not real. They will realize it sooner or later. They are going to be disappointed. You'll feel like shit because somebody's disappointed in you. Why are you doing that to yourself?
Because when that fucking mask falls off, inevitably, when you don't have the energy, when you've got your guard down, when you're a little too drunk, when you're a little too whatever, and that fucking mask falls off and they see underneath it, you're this scarred, wrecked, festering, pot-covered howler monkey.
Or maybe you just have a pimple.
Yeah, whatever. I don't mean to. Yeah, right. Usually it is just a pimple. But, well, when they see this thing, then that's when the fucking relationship starts collapsing, because you don't have the energy to put up the false thing anymore. And so then you're just exhausted and you're like, no, this is what I'm like. Sometimes I love to play video games, or sometimes I sometimes I leave fingernails on the ground.
Exactly.
It happens sometimes.
And the trip is, if you then run into somebody who sees, you do something that's probably not the ideal thing you want to do, and you have that Pavlov dog reaction when you turn and you're like, oh shit, now I'm going to hear about it, it's going to be a bad or something, and they are okay with it.
Yes.
And you're like, you think that's bad? Pff, that's nothing.
Yes.
And you're like, really? Because that's as bad as I'm gonna get. Really, that doesn't bother you?
God damn it! See, man, this is why I have this attachment towards this fucking girl. Because in the worst time of my life, when I really was just literally debilitated, want a fucking ball freshly chopped off.
Mom dying, radiation.
Yeah, suddenly this person was like, no, I'm totally cool with it. The only thing she wasn't cool with is the fact that I broke up with her after she took care of me when I had cancer. And how can you blame her for that?
No, but at the same time, again, if it was only you dealing with what you're dealing with, your mom, the physical effects of radiation are going to fuck up your mind for a while. And that's just so, assuming that somebody's going to do the same thing that they did when they were in a state where you probably shouldn't be around them unless you are willing to take all sort of shit that's going to come out of them.
Right.
I think in that scenario, I think that's as sweet and nice as she was, she overestimated their ability to be able to take shit.
Yeah.
Because in that scenario, you're not just going to be it's not like a flu where you are there and you need somebody to make you soup and
had to be left alone.
Put new blankets and stuff. You're going fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And one has to realize that they are going to go fucking crazy, and a few weeks later, it's going to go away. And if you still ride in the bull, then you'll be able to see it for what it really is, rather than So in that sense, I feel like, come on, man. That's why I'm giving her the money back guarantee. It's
money back guarantee.
Try Duncan again, and if not, it will be my honor to personally put an end to separating his head from the rest of his body.
Try me one more time, or I will only talk about you on my podcast for the next 700 podcasts.
I'm sure your audience is going to be really pleased.